Now, recently we saw the new Direct, and in it they showed off new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe that's coming to the Switch. However, there's one thing that's coming to the game that's incredibly weird. Because maybe none of the human characters in the entire series are even really human. Now, the new Super Mario Bros. Remake is yet again a side-scroller platformer and is planned to release on the Nintendo Switch worldwide on January 11th, 2019. The game introduces a new playable character, Toadette, who will make her playable debut in the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series. However, this is where it gets interesting, because she has an ability that changes everything we know about this entire series. She has a unique form known as PEACHETTE that grants her abilities similar to that of Princess Peach and Princess Daisy. By grabbing a crown item called the Super Crown, she turns into a special form that completely changes her. In this form, she highly resembles Princess Peach, however, there are differences. Notably, her different dress, toad cap-like crown, grey pupils, hair tails, and toad-like shoes. In this form, Toadette is able to double jump akin to Princess Peach in Super Mario Run, and can also perform Peach's floating jump. Additionally, she automatically gets boosted out of any pits she falls into. Now, we have never seen anything like this, and this is also the first time ever that a Toad got a power-up which drastically changed them. And here we start to see the whole point of this video. If an ordinary citizen of the Mushroom Kingdom can turn into a human out of nowhere, then who is really a human? If an item like this can already turn a normal Toad into a human, then there must be more magic in their world capable of something like that. So any human we see in the games could also be a completely different being, or a normal Toad originally. We've even seen Bowser use dark magic to transform Goombas and Koopas into clones of himself. This was even seen in multiple games, for example Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario 3D Land. So let's have a look at all of them to find out which ones are truly human and who isn't. But how are we going to figure this out? We can't just test their blood or something. Well, I've come up with a couple of points to look at that could give us an answer. We will look at the following: their family, history, and any oddities. Let's start off with a red Italian mustache man called Mario. Is he really a human or something else? Well, when it comes to family, he has a brother that we know a lot about. But besides that, nothing really. His family hasn't been extensively explored. Mario and Luigi's supposed parents make a cameo at the end of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, although their faces are not seen and their names are not given. The same goes for their appearances in Family Album The Early Years and Super Mario Isun Boshi. Furthermore, Yoshi's New Island has stated that these two are not Mario and Luigi's parents. And the Super Mario Bros. Super Show shows off their mom and other relatives. However, this isn't canon, just like Super Mario Isun Boshi and the Family Album. One interesting thing to note is that his parents live in a mushroom house, which is probably located somewhere in the Mushroom Kingdom. And this increases the likelihood of them being toads instead of humans. Another thing that adds to this is how they get the babies. The stork delivers them, which is a reference to folklore. However, this also means we don't really know where they are from and how their parents got the whole deal going and with who. So when it comes to family, there isn't a real indication that his parents and Mario and Luigi themselves are even human. Now, when it comes to his history, we've always seen him in the same form as an adult and child. And there's actually something different about Mario. He's a star child, which are babies with an extraordinary amount of power. That's originally why he and many others were kidnapped. So maybe he isn't human because he's a star child. Well, maybe. Because there's one problem. A lot of the kids that were kidnapped alongside him were human as far as we could see. And those other kids aren't star children. So it does look like Mario originally came from a human household of sorts, together with the kids that lived in the same village. Besides that, there's nothing similar to the Super Crown associated with them. Even when they lose their caps, they remain human and never transform into something else. Although we do see one interesting thing in Super Mario 64 DS. Here you can find caps that turn you into certain characters. For example, transforming a Yoshi into a Mario. This is extremely interesting and only proves that magic like this certainly exists. But we have already seen with Mario, Luigi, and some other human characters that getting hit or losing their cap doesn't transform them back, which means they are the real deal. So this makes both Mario and his brother Luigi most likely human. But what about Wario and Waluigi? We know a lot less about them, so is there a chance that they became human at some point? Well, actually, compared to Mario and Luigi, the chances of them being anything but human is a lot bigger. We know nothing about their family or origins at all, and both of them kind of came out of nowhere. Only Wario was seen as a baby because he was also a star child just like Mario and Luigi. But where he came from or who his parents are is still a mystery. So when it comes down to it, there are a lot of options with Waluigi, who we know nothing about. But sadly enough, nothing similar to the Super Crown is associated with them. They're never seen using any weird magic to alter themselves besides stuff like a fire form here and there. Aside from that, both are seen without their hat at some point, so their hat doesn't influence their form at all, unlike Toadette with the Super Crown. So while it's certainly possible when it comes to these two, there is sadly enough no solid evidence for it. However, there's one more citizen of the Mushroom Kingdom that could be something different. Princess Peach. Now, there's actually a lot of evidence that she could be a toad instead of an actual human. First up, the Super Crown itself. When Toadette transforms into her human shape, she looks and sounds exactly like Peach, with some minor differences here and there. Another interesting thing that we can see right off the bat is that Peach herself has a crown as well, and always wears it or something similar to it, even as a baby. Besides that, when we look at her family, then we can see that she has both a mother and a father, however, they're never seen in the games. In some of the older instruction booklets, her dad can be seen, however, this isn't really solid evidence because everyone in the picture looks different compared to their in-game look. All of them look human, but with big hats on. So that's not really gonna get us anywhere, so I will have to dismiss it. Whatever the story was back then has clearly changed a lot. The only parent figure we actually see is Toadsworth, an elderly Toad and Princess Peach longtime steward introduced in Super Mario Sunshine. Now, they aren't related, but when it comes down to it, he is the closest thing to a parent for Peach. So really, there's quite a lot of evidence that Peach could be a Toad herself and became human because she is the ruler. She's also the only human together with Mario, Wario, Waluigi, and Luigi that are seen in the Mushroom Kingdom. And it's unlikely that a country filled to the brim with toads would have anything but a toad ruler. There are a lot more of them, so the chance is just higher. Now, some would say that Toadette and Peach are the exact same person, however, I don't think that's the case. They specifically mention that there is a difference between the two, even physically, so no chance really. However, if Peach is really a human, it's certainly up for debate. Because after seeing the Super Crown in action, I think there's more to it than meets the eye. And maybe this could also be the case for the other princess we know, Daisy. Although I'm not sure if she would be a toad then. Or Nintendo just wanted to put Peach in and totally didn't think about the impact it would have on the characters and story. Oh well. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch more videos, be sure to click those annotations on the screen right now. And you can always subscribe and click the bell button, because believe me, you won't miss any cool content. Any cool Wily videos. Can you imagine?